Camilla, Tominey and Tom Swarbrick are with us to talk through some of today's top news stories. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Lovely to see you. So some breaking news sort of overnight.
Yes.
British Ambassador to the US, Lord Mandelson, has given an interview discussing his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. There's the 50th birthday photo book and birthday book has been compiled and released. It was compiled for Epstein by Ghislaine Maxwell. And the embarrassing thing for everybody in this book is notes that were written, the cards that were given as well. Lots of questions to be asked about this, Tom.
Yes, Lord Mandelson is now our man in the United States. He's the US ambassador, and he's been answering questions about his relationship with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Because of the notes that were revealed in this book written for Epstein's 50th birthday back in 2003, in which Peter Mandelson describes him as my best pal. He says he likes to stay in one of his glorious homes, which he likes to share with his friends, brackets, yum, yum. Ugh. So Peter Mandelson is now answering questions about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. It's been reported this morning in the Telegraph newspaper that Mandelson was aided by Epstein in a deal that Mandelson was putting through when he was business secretary. Why is that significant? It's significant because that happened after Epstein was convicted of child sex offences. So the question for Mandelson now is, how long did this relationship last? He says this morning, I knew it went on too long. I really regret it going on that long. I should have left it there. But we are getting word from Mandelson that there is more to come. He's preempting the fact that more correspondence might be released. That's going to be very embarrassing. All this results, Camilla, in the smell of burning toast.
Yes.
I think he's a goner.
It's difficult, this, because if we look back to the Duke of York, because Prince Andrew maintained that relationship with Epstein after he had been convicted and served time for procuring a minor for prostitution, it was frowned upon. It was that he didn't make any mistake in law, but that he made a grotesque error of judgment in maintaining a relationship with somebody who had been convicted of that kind of heinous crime. Therefore, we surely have to apply the same test to Lord Mandelson.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting and curious situation here, where over the course of the last 20 years that we've been looking at the Epstein saga, I remember when I first started out in journalism, being given this copy of his Rolodex and who was he associating with, who flew on the Lolita Express and all the rest of it, that you have figures on the right, like Donald Trump, or by association somebody like the Duke of York, who's seen as establishment sort of being tainted by their associations, and others like, until now, Lord Mandelson, Bill Clinton, sort of being able to get away scot-free. The weirdest aspect of this story, frankly, is this birthday book.
Yes.
It's sort of got kind of messages in it which are a bit nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Absolutely. Oh, we know you like young girls, but let's all have a laugh about it. Pictures of people with their genitalia out, naked photographs of Ghislaine Maxwell, naked photographs of Jeffrey Epstein in a bath, everyone signing their name, thinking it's all great fun.
So weird. And of course, I mean, the big sort of scoop in it is the alleged letter from Donald Trump to him, particular handwritten card or what have you. So, look, Peter Mandelson gave an interview with Harry Cole of The Sun, and we've got a little conversation, a little soundbite here, which is relevant to where he stands with his support from the Prime Minister. This is what he said to him this morning.
Yes, I can accept that I continued my association with him for too long.
Have you discussed this with the Prime Minister, and do you retain his full support on this matter? And have you discussed it with the President?
I haven't discussed it with either the President or the Prime Minister, and I hope that I'm doing a good enough job as ambassador.
So the politician who was out doing the morning rounds this morning was on Good Morning Britain talking to Susanna and Ed, and said that the Prime Minister still gives him his full backing, to which Ed turned around and says, are you sure about that? What do we know is about to come out? You may be embarrassed to have to sort of backtrack on that in an hour's time.
The floodgates are open, aren't they? The floodgates are now open on exposing every correspondence that Mandelson has had with Epstein, particularly after Epstein was convicted of child sex offences. As Mandelson, was in the role of business secretary. So he's a cabinet minister who is having email correspondence with a convicted child sex offender. Why? Why would you ever think that was a good idea, even if you really loved the guy and you thought he was a bit of a great one to hang around with, or you thought he was important? Why would you do that?
The difficult four words here are best pal,
Yeah.
And yum, yum.
Yum, yum.
OK? And the other thing is for the Prime Minister, well, yeah, of course he wants to bat this away. He has just had the worst week of his premiership. Yeah. The reset has backfired heavily. Angela Rayner's out. He's got a deputy leadership race, which looks like it might end in the membership installing somebody that's hostile to him. If he loses another scalp, he's already had to get rid of 3 aides.
What about what
it's a disaster.
Peter Manson's saying there, though? He's got this trade deal done. Up till now, he was perceived to be doing a good job. He was the right person to be there. Is there anything in
But hang on a minute. The appointment of Peter Mandelson was strategic anyway because of his alliance with Blair and the idea that the Prime Minister doesn't want to look like he's too much of a socialist, even though he's admitted himself, I am a socialist. This is all about political positioning, OK? And it's backfired. Ask any journalist in Fleet Street about the long-standing association between Epstein and Mandelson, and they know about all of this. So it questions the Prime Minister's wisdom in the first place to appoint this guy for strategic reasons when actually there are a few skeletons in the closet.
And when the president that the US ambassador for Britain is meant to be liaising with and having good relations with has said in his campaign, I'm going to release everything related to Epstein. Now, he hasn't yet, but you know that might be coming, and yet you install a man who clearly has relationships with Epstein that might actually end up
also,
backfiring.
remember, Karen Pierce was doing quite a good job at UK-US relations.
Right.
People at the time were saying, well, why has he shifted her? He'd shifted her because Mandelson had helped with his election campaign, had been behind the scenes. He's the conduit to Blair and that kind of former New Labour contingent that the Prime Minister needs for support. So, as is ever the case with the chicanery that goes on in Downing Street and Westminster, there is a more to all of this than meets the eye.
So it feels like things might move quite fast over the next 28, 48, 24, 48 hours.
And it's only the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That's it.
Quite.
OK, let's talk about Harry, the Duke of Sussex. He's made a very big donation. He's announced a personal donation of 1.1 million to tackle youth violence in Nottingham, saying that knife crime was one of the most urgent issues facing this country.
That's a chunky
It
check.
is
chunky.
a very chunky
So there'd
gesture.
been some kind of misreporting about this, that it had come from the Archwell Foundation. Actually, I just checked with the Royal girls who cover the Royal Beat at the Telegraph. They're like, no, this is a personal donation.
Wow.
OK.
And I think, really, the rhetoric around all this is, does this mean that he wants an entry back into sort of a royal role, a pseudo-royal role, a charitable role, because post-Megxit, he was stripped of his royal and military patronages. He's had to kind of do official work unofficially. We've had the row over his security. So when he comes to the UK, he's obviously not seen as a kind of full-fat member of the royal family. He's seen as Prince Harry doing his charitable work.
Yeah.
Don't we all welcome this? This is precisely where Prince Harry is at his
Where he
best.
shines.
Yes.
OK? You know, having observed him for years and years and years in that charitable capacity, I don't think I've seen any other member of kind of like public life be that good with members of the public, particularly with children. I've toured hospitals full of disabled children in Barbados with him. I've gone around the world with him, and he is so good at this. So if he is getting back to that, rather than sort of, you know, continuing this kind of personal animus towards members of his family and the institution of monarchy, then we can make no criticism of this chap for giving £1 million to kids in need.
Putting his money where his mouth is.
He doesn't need to give £1 million.
No.
If you wanted to, you know, get back into a better relationship with the British public or your family, you can do it in a huge number of different ways that don't involve you personally parting with £1 million. I think it's a good thing.
Will he catch up with his old man?
He may catch up with his old man, although the jury's out on whether they can schedule that meeting because the King's always very busy.
But aren't they both in London now?
Yes, but, you know,
Tube
this
strike.
is not...
Can't get
Tube
there.
strike.
No chance.
Might have to get a Lime bike, which...
you imagine?
Well, the King would be in favour.
You can't get a Lime bike at the moment. They're all being
No, you
used.
can't get it for love nor money. We are going that way after this, so if he wants to
pick
jump
him
in
up.
the car... I work near Victoria.
We'll give you a lift.
I work on Buckingham Palace Road.
Tom can act as security, because we know he struggles there.
OK. But not sure if he wants to be in the back
Run in
of
the
the
opposite
cab
direction, thanks very
and a
much.
dictaphone. But look, I think any brotherly reunion is not on the cards, but I think a father always wants to see his son and vice versa, and his father's been very ill, and ultimately most people looking at this think that life's too short.
18 months since they last saw each other.
Yeah.
3 years since he's seen the
especially
grandkids.
for the
Extraordinary.
grandkids. Tom and Camilla are back with us with more of today's top news stories. Do you get your kids to do chores around the house?
Do you know what? This really resonated with me, this
Go
story,
on.
because I lost it at the weekend.
Oh.
By the end of play on Sunday,
Close of
I
play.
think I must
Was there a
have done...
Tominey tantrum?
There was a Tominey tantrum. I must have done 10 loads of washing. And do you know what pushed me over the edge? When I'd finished the last load of washing, the oldest child hadn't given me her washing and then put it in the... And I said, I've just done 1 whites and a darks. I've done a succession of loads. I've had it. You're all doing your own washing. And then I quickly realised that was going to backfire because any mum or dad who has said to the children, right, that's it, you're doing your own washing, all they end up with at the end of the week is a pile of washing. Because nobody then does their own washing, Kat. Are you feeling my pain here?
I do. I'm not at that point yet. But there are people who are. New research has revealed that only 44% of all 14 and 15-year-olds help with domestic chores.
How old are yours?
I've got 12, 15 and 16.
So right in the sweet spot.
And I say to them, you are getting nothing from me unless you unload that dishwasher and unload that tumble dryer.
Look how the chin comes out a little bit.
And how do they react to that?
Depends on their mood.
Right.
Also, we get the whole, I'm doing my homework. It's amazing how homework is suddenly done as chores need to be done.
To homework.
Tom, or like, I'm revising. Hang on a minute, you've just done your GCSE.
Yeah.
I'm very busy here doing my maths. And, of course, then that creates some parental conflict because we don't want to get in the way of their studies.
I think, so I'm just before, I'm 10 and 8, but I make them do chores because I think for a generation that apparently is struggling to even pick up a telephone and being taught how to use a phone, you have to get them into a situation where they ask not what the house can do for them, but what they can do for the house.
That's true.
If you have children that aren't able to help, that refuse to get involved, that don't understand that there is value in the grit and the graft and the doing the thing that they don't like doing, then you're bringing up a weak generation.
You send that child up a chimney.
So what? What is the appropriate level of chores and the amount of chores that doesn't descend into child labour?
Good question. Very good question.
I don't think there is. There isn't an appropriate amount, is there?
The basics. Can we just go through the basics?
Yes, basics.
It's make bed.
Yes.
Make sure room is tidy.
Yes.
OK.
Clothes in the wash basket.
Clothes in the washing basket.
Not around the wash basket.
Yeah, not on the It isn't a plate or a bowl. In my son's case, he's eating cereal out of massive bowls.
Humongous vessel.
It's bringing them down. I don't want to be doing the whole glass collecting thing like I'm a publican in my own house.
When it's gone all a bit mouldy.
Like I'm thinking of getting one of those holders for the glass. So it's the basics first, and then it is, I think, when requested, hi, could you just help us with this? It's this response, yes, I can.
Sure.
Rather than, no, God, you know, you're impinging on my human rights.
I think so. I think, Tom, because yours are at that stage before, I think getting them a little bit sort of pre-programmed to understand that doing a little bit of effort now makes a massive difference. If someone's making the food, they don't have to tidy up. The others have to tidy up and put it away and put it in the dishwasher. The thing that is magical is you come home and they've done something without asking. Still yet to have that happen.
How does that happen? What is that unicorn?
Every now and again.
The only thing they do without asking is create the mess.
But there is one statistic. The London kids are twice as likely to take the bins out than children in the regions, such as Yorkshire, South West, North East and east of England. Jack helped me with the bins last night.
Good.
It was bin time on our road, and I said to him when I got home, got home after work at 8:30 in the night, and he was lying on the sofa watching something, and I said, any chance you can help me with the bins? And he did help me with the bins.
Did you know which bins?
He didn't
take them all out?
No, he didn't know. He said, where do we take them?
There's a list up.
And I said, we moved recently. We've been in this house for 6 months. The bins are there every week, and you have never noticed where do you think the bins go?
Just go to the front of the house.
I mean, it's not...
I'm not good on the bin lottery, if I'm honest.
You should be doing the bins.
I know I do, but
I used to work for Theresa May, who said there are jobs for men and jobs for women.
I do the bins, Camilla, but I don't understand which bins are meant to go out which week, so I just flood it all. I just flood the zone with all the bins. And then they take what they want, and then I pull the rest back, and that's how it works now.
And then if you're lucky,
no, you can't do that.
Exactly.
It's not wish cycling. You can't do that, Tom. That's very bad. That's bad. That's very bad, Tom. You need your children to help you. Let's talk about driving theory tests. Do you believe you would pass your driving theory test, Camilla, if you were to take it now?
Absolutely. I don't want to brag, but I passed my test in 5 weeks. My birthday was in June. I passed at the beginning of August.
Hold on. But what year was this?
This was in 1991 or 3.
Everyone passed back then.
You're brave.
Everyone passed back then.
And I then went on to do my advanced motoring certificate.
Oh, hold on.
I'm one of those.
Oh, no. You're a P-plate person.
To be
I've
fair,
got
big
P
P
plates
plate
on my
person.
car now.
Are you?
No.
you have to kind of like, when you do your advanced motoring, you have to do this thing where you do a driving commentary. Oh, there's a bin lorry ahead. Oh, now I'm going to slow
Oh, a
down
little
because
Did you
there's
do it in a
grip on the
fluorescent
road.
jacket as well, with
I
a big
wore
lanyard
driving
on?
gloves. No, I'm just kidding.
So, OK, so you
I was
think you'd be
basically
away?
the female equivalent of Partridge. This was back from my local paper, by the way.
Apparently,
Story.
new research has found that 95% of drivers would fail their theory test if asked to resit it today. I think you've got some tests
Well, I
for
was
us.
going to say, I think this gives us the perfect opportunity to quiz
Yes.
you two on whether or not you would know
Can they
the
take your
following
driving
parts of
licence?
the highway code.
Can anybody do that?
hope not.
Your insurance bills are about to go up.
I don't know whether we...
Ooh.
I
Because
don't
they're
know
really
whether we
reasonable
know-
already.
I don't know whether we
go on.
know where we have
Ooh.
the music to accompany this.
What's
Ladies and
that
gentlemen, Ben and Kat,
This
what
means-
does this sign mean?
Don't forget your trousers.
Don't forget your trousers. Very
High-waisted,
good.
they're in fashion right now.
Performs
Very high.
Absolutely.
It's a thigh guy summer.
Yes.
So it's a
Simon
triangle,
Cowell's-
which means it's a warning.
Simon
Yes.
Cowell's
Triangle's
trousers are
warning.
Here comes the music.
And I'm going to say that's the road is narrowing.
The road is narrowing. Catherine Dealey, you're going for trousers.
trousers.
It's the end of the dual carriageway.
That's right.
So the road is narrowing.
So
I'm
the
having
road-
that.
I think
bring
you
a tuning fork.
specifically dual carriageway.
Bring a tuning
fork.
fork.
The road is narrowing. I'm afraid you failed.
Next one, please. Next one, please. Now there's a certain word I do need in the answer to this question. I'm afraid.
OK, the bus is going down.
Look up, because buses are dropping from the sky.
It is contraflow bus lane.
Contraflow bus lane.
Contraflow.
Okay.
Right, we've got two more. What have we got?
Two more. OK, so
Yeah, go on.
we're testing you on your driving theory test about whether or not you can pass. Here's the
Oh,
sign.
yeah,
Ben
that's a good
Shepherd,
one.
what does this sign, sir, mean?
OK,
Play the
so
music,
I
please.
am saying that the sign is that you can't overtake. So no overtaking
Bingo.
if you're in a red car.
Tick VG.
got
Go to
it.
the top of the class.
Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah, very good, Ben Shepherd. Well done. We didn't get the drama around it, but very
No.
good. Carry on.
Well, how about this one?
Go on.
OK, this is a few deals.
Oh, that's straightforward, easy.
That's interesting,
That's an
isn't it?
absolute no-brainer.
Blue
you must
sign
know this.
with a red
You shouldn't be allowed
stripe.
in a car
Cat.
if you don't know this, do you?
Cat, you know
Blue-
this one.
blue- do I? No entry?
No, it's not no entry. That's
What
red
is
with the
it
white
then?
thing.
What is it?
That is nice overarm bags. Look great on blue. Blue on red. It's a
Blue
fashion
on
one.
red.
You've got to lock in an answer, Dealey.
Come
We're
on.
running out of time.
No entry at a certain time.
No.
During the
It's-
day.
It's to do with time.
It's
entry
restrictions.
into
All
water.
restrictions are lifted.
No waiting.
No wait.
Waiting
Ah.
deals.
Really? No
She doesn't have to adhere to that sort of thing. It's
No,
Cat
I'm
Dealey.
like
Cat
Mariah
Dealey.
Carey. I keep everybody waiting at
Advanced
least 3
driver
hours.
over here. Our advanced motorist lanyard fluorescent vest is going to have a word with you after
She's
the
going
show.
to give me
I
a
think.
red
If you would
card.
like a little, I'll
I
give you in
think
my Mini Cooper.
95% of drivers isn't as many as would fail, to be honest. That's
No, I
bad.
think it's gonna be-
Thank you both for joining us.
Lovely to see you.
Visiting our This Morning YouTube channel, we upload new content every day. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.